Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Shortline Subaru. Save money, drive better. And by Jeep, and a unique brand of freedom you'll only find in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com. In Philadelphia tonight, the Avalanche begin a 4-game road trip, and it begins against the Flyers. Let's look at tonight's Ford starting lineup, and we'll start with the starting goaltenders.
Well, Reto Berra in nets tonight, and some people were wondering, speculating, why is Berra playing tonight when, Varlamov was ready? This was the plan, to give Berra this game, and probably some days off. He's worked with the goalie coach this morning, taking lots of shots, and really given some rest between games. But Mason, the one thing to watch for, there's not many of them in the National Hockey League. He's a right-hand catching goaltender. Mike, I watched him this morning. I don't think I've seen a goalie make as many saves catching the puck as he did this morning. There was a stretch about 15 shots in a row, and one of the few goaltenders that I've seen that would reach across his body to make a catching glove save. So we'll see how that plays in tonight's game.
Both teams capable of getting a lot of shots.
Yes.
Both teams have given up a lot of shots, so it should be fun to watch tonight. The Avalanche and the Flyers have begun from Philadelphia. Look at the rest of the starting lineup brought to you by Ford. No changes in terms of the entire lineup for the Colorado Avalanche. They have one healthy scratch, and that is Daniel Briere. And the injury scratchers are Brad Stewart, Jesse Winchester, along with Ryan Wilson and Patrick Bordelot. First scoring chance for the Flyers, and goaltender Reto Berra up to the task. And then on the other end of the ice, Steve Mason makes his first save, and so both goaltenders are into it here tonight after facing a shot on goal.
Interesting to listen to Patrick Waugh talk this morning about sort of the defensive zone strategy that's changed a little bit for the Avalanche. He said, no, it's not about the defensive zone. He wanted more support for the breakout, and he thought the Avalanche, with 19 shots on goal in the first period, were far better in that area.
Face off in the Flyers' end, and the puck picked up behind the net. Mark Streit moves the puck out to center, back it up. Jan Hayden threads it through, but it'll come back into the Flyers' end, and big Nicholas Grossman shoots the puck ahead, and Jake Voracek has the puck tapped away from him and sent out of play.
Well, Craig Berube and Ian LaPerriere, the assistant coach right there, two of the toughest guys. And Craig Berube, Mike, when he played, nickname was the Chief. Was he tough? And the Flyers have always been that club. Well, guess what? This year, this Philadelphia club, led by Ian LaPerriere, telling them how to play hockey, have our 5th fewest penalty minutes. Under nine a game.
I know. There's a chance for Landeskog, but denied. And back into the corner. 8.8 penalty minutes per game. In the slot, shot by Iginla, got stopped. And you can look at their lineup here, and just automatically, when you think Flyers, you think of the toughness, those Broad Street bullies that I know you have good memories of. There aren't any legitimate enforcers on this team anymore.
As a matter of fact, this Philly club, as it's constituted right now, Mike, is 199 pounds. They're one of the smallest clubs in the league.
Pass by Mitchell, gets tipped by Everberg. It goes the length of the ice and results in the Avs getting called for icing.
Well, what we've seen early is we saw Philadelphia quick 2-on-1, and then Landeskog a real good opportunity. As you mentioned, no lineup changes for the Avalanche, no line changes, no defensive pair changes for the Avalanche. So that, which always indicates that the coaching staff is happy with the group.
Well, you get a win. Even the goaltending didn't change. As Reto Berra gets his 2nd consecutive start and 5th start of the season and 6th appearance of the year. Dumped into the corner by Colorado. Back to get it. Puck sent around by Luke Schenn, one of the Schenn brothers on this team. Alex Tanguay, boy, did he have a game the other night against Toronto. Far side shot gets blocked, picked up by Nate Gennon, who began his career with the Philadelphia Flyers and over the course of 3 seasons played 12 games for Philadelphia. Tipped along the boards. Back behind the net. Tanguay works it free. Will help from Everberg. Luke Schenn took it back for the Flyers. Played it up off the boards. and scooped ahead by LeCavalier. Lost it. Taken away from him by Alex Tanguay. Throws the puck back to the point. Getting sent across. One-timer. Whistles up high. Stays in play. Oh, now we do have a whistle. Apparently it did hit the netting.
Yep.
So the puck has gone out of play. We've got to stop in our first period with no score.
Now for the Colorado Avalanche, here's one of the real positives that's happened this season. 13 goals in the first period, tied with Philadelphia for probably fifth in the National Hockey League. And Mike, that first period, I mean, they've had leads after the first period. They've scored the first goal, and it hasn't really given them the record that they want.
Lately, they have scored very early first period goals. Last game, 31 seconds in, the Nick Holden score. That's the fastest goal to start a game for the Avalanche. In the previous game, it took only 1 minute and 15 seconds for John Mitchell to score. The Avs lost the game against Vancouver, but won the game against Toronto after getting those early first period goals. The puck is tipped out of play. Let's take a look at tonight's winning combo presented by Blackjack Pizza.
Well, play loose. Play as they played last game. I don't mean loose defensively. I mean, they seem to be, there's a little bit of a carefree, let's just go and play hockey. And then the power play. Every one of the clubs the Avalanche play on this trip, penalty killing is not outstanding. And it's one area of the Avalanche, if they can get it going, it can be such a boost offensively.
Although I will say the Flyers are second best in the league at home killing penalties, but dead last on the road. Bizarre. Played back by McGinn to the point. Gets it back. Walks in. He shoots. Kick save made by Mason. Rebound. Scooped up by Matt Reed. Taken away from him. Shot around the board. Stopped behind the net by Mason. Mason is 9th game of the season for the Flyers. Looking for his 3rd win. Flyers as a team have won 4 in a row at home. On the near side boards, the puck flicked across. Couturier shoots it on into the Avalanche zone. Chance, save made by Bear. Rebound shot blocked by Holden. And the puck goes to the far side wing. Braden Shen, who had that great chance against Bear a moment ago, sends the puck high with a shot. Couturier behind the net, checked by Duchesne. Duchesne lost the glove in the proceeding. Put it back on and then takes away the puck. Makes a pass up ice for O'Reilly. Tipped away and a delay offside on the Flyers. Will make a line change as the Avs move to center, and Zach Redmond playing in his 2nd consecutive game after being a healthy stretch for 4. Sends the puck to center, and then the Flyers pass gets tipped out of play. Boy, not a lot happening here early in the first period for either team.
No, that they've had a couple of opportunities, and Shen, of course, as you mentioned. It's interesting, the brothers, the forward for Shen, Brendan Shen, he's 6'1", 190. His brother, the defenseman, Luke, is 6'3", 225 pounds. It's somebody got shortchanged in the size.
Simmons, pass behind the net. This is the top line for Philadelphia. Giroux with Voracek and Simmons. So if the Avs got to watch one line, especially for the Flyers, this would be the one. Dumped into the corner. Eric Johnson coming back for the puck. Simmons took it away for Philadelphia. Works his way along the boards, turns, spins, his shot gets blocked, gets it again, pass below the circle, back towards Voracek. That's blocked, and it comes all the way out to center ice. And Luke Shen will wrap it around the boards in the Colorado zone. We played a little more than 5 minutes in our first period. Just 3 shots for the Avs, 2 for the Flyers. Flyers had the puck. Shot gets blocked by Johnson. Bounce pass it back towards the point, intercepted, and carried out to center ice by Alex Tanguay. Off the boards, they were trying to get Mitchell to win that race. He deliberately put it there off the boards. I'll tell you what, Alex Tanguay is playing like he's in his 20s. He just is having an outstanding year, isn't he, Peter?
And you know what? He just missed. That board bounced a little bit funny. That it should have bounced out much more towards the boards.
Well, he's just playing so well. No score in our game. We're in the first period in Philadelphia. Pass by Grossman goes across. Shot in around the wall by Strike. Picked up on the fly and carried out to center ice by Tyson Barrie. Gives the puck to Gennon. Goes back towards Barrie. Not much of a forecheck put on by the Flyers, and plenty of time and room for Gennon to send the puck ahead. It gets tipped deep into the Flyer zone. Comes along the near side. Cleese gets after it for the Avalanche. Threw it across, and without a stick, the puck is kept in by the Avalanches. Vandevelde could not get a hold of that puck and clear it out of the zone. And behind the net, Nick Schultz with the puck for the Philadelphia Flyers. Makes the pass, gets it back. Schultz sends it up the wall and down the ice into the Colorado zone. No icing on the play. Both teams changing up their forward line. Handled in the near side by Zach Redmond. Gets to Holden. And the pressure now put on by the Flyers, and they get a hold of the puck. John Couturier with a pass to the point. Shot through some traffic, hit a leg in front of the net. Comes wide. Braden Schenn pass to the point for his brother. Back in front for Braden. Braden comes up to the puck along the far boards, trying to cut in front, but stick checked and the puck lands out at center. Hammered back in from center by Schenn. Around the wall, grabbed by Braden Schenn. Shovel pass across. Tell you what, Braden Schenn has had a couple of chances here in this first period. And we got a whistle, and we're going to have a penalty. It'll be against the Avalanche. Zach Redmond is going to go to the penalty box. When we come back, Flyers on the power play. Let's see who is in the groove. Brought to you by Groove Subaru.
Well, a couple of pretty good players there, Peter Forsberg and Simon Gagne, Mike, and they were on the same line together, and Forsberg just had a spectacular start to the season. But for Voracek, Mike, he's former #1 pick, Columbus, 7th overall in 2007. It came along in a package deal for Jeff Carter when the Philadelphia Flyers made a couple of big trades at the trade deadline, at the draft, pardon me, and what a game player he has become.
Tip on net, and it just goes wide after they glanced off of Reto Berra to the corner. Power play for the Flyers. In the box, Zach Redmond, a hooking penalty. As Reto Berra, even from the knees, able to reach up high and get that floating puck. And he's got it with the Flyers on the power play.
And for the Avalanches, you know, we talked about it a lot. Mike, was it 29 in a row they killed off before last game? And the Maple Leafs were able to get a power play goal, but that it's going to have to be good on this trip.
Flyers, 9th best on the power play in the NHL at home. With 8 power play goals and 43 opportunities this season. Led by Simmons with 3 as the Avalanche clear the puck. As Peter mentioned, that they had a string of 29 in a row stopped on Thursday. With a goal by Tyler Bozak of the Toronto Maple Leafs on the power play. Voracek pass in the slot. Giroux for the trailer. Straight back down the boards for Giroux. Trying to center for Schenn, but McLeod, nice job to tie him up. But the puck is scooped up by Simmons to the point for Streit. Backhands it across. Shot slowed up by Holden. Simmons first to the puck. Squashed into the boards by Simmons. Puck freed up. Voracek slapped the puck back towards the point for Streit. Spins around. Makes the pass. Voracek cutting in. He shoots. And a kick save made by Mason. To the near side for Giroux. Flips the pass back to the point for Streit. Walking along the blue line. Voracek pass down low. And the puck comes behind the net. Overskated momentarily by Braden Schenn. Recovers the puck. Throws a pass back for Streit. Near side for Giroux. Power play for Philadelphia. One-timer off the chest of Berra. And the rebound picked up. 20 seconds left to go in the penalty. Flyers keep it in. Streit with a shot. Goes wide of the net. Voracek controls the puck. His pass comes whipping around the wall. Near side for Giroux. Back high in the slot. Shot down low. Tipped by Schenn. But Berra makes the save. Back across. With just a couple seconds left in Redmond's penalty. He's out of the box. Simmons has the puck. So the Avalanche kill the penalty. Although the Flyers certainly had some shots and some chances. Simmons turns, shoots. Berra, though, able to make the save. The rebound came free, and it is sent down the ice by Nate Gennon of Colorado.
Good puck movement. It's hard to believe this power play is struggling for the Philadelphia Flyers. But how about Berra? In net again, solid. He's 2-0-1 this year, Mike, in the 3 games that he's finished.
Nice job there, helping out the penalty kill. Duchesne curling towards the boards. Back behind him for Eric Johnson, coming wide. Pass across, got tipped, but goes wide of the Flyer net. Turn behind the net. O'Reilly throws it back towards the point for Johnson. Down the boards. O'Reilly's got it for Colorado. He shoots. Goes off the side of the net. Flicked out to center ice by Couturier. And a race back into the Avalanche zone. And first to the puck is Erik Johnson. Umberger on him. And the puck comes free, bouncing back towards the point. Kicked in momentarily. And then the backhander by Schultz deflects ahead. Avalanche have got it. Duchesne with Landeskog. Landeskog gets the little backhand flip pass. Curls back, he turns, he shoots, and the rebound goes into the corner. Handled by Reed. Bumps it back behind the net. Up the near side, Del Zotto. Pass to center. Avalanche recover the puck. Tyson Barrie looking back behind him. He'll get to it with about 9 minutes remaining in the first period. 8 shots for the Flyers, 4 for the Avalanche. No score in the game. Flyers have had a power play chance. That puck going wide of Mason, but he'll make the safe play and cover the puck for a faceoff. And we'll come back with more first period play from Philadelphia. No score. Time for our Timberland Pro hard hit highlights. There he is. Bobby Orr.
But Michael, this building is not the building that used to make people so afraid. It was the Spectrum, the old building. There were games in here, as my friend Dennis Potvin said, Mike, if any player ever said he wasn't afraid coming into this building, they were lying.
I heard that interview.
Yeah, I mean, it was a horror show. And this man right here was as tough as they come. This man's been in the organization now for 18 years. He was so tough as a player, but they have decided to turn it around and go in a different ways. So far this game, has there been one of those big thunderous checks to this point?
No, you don't see guys
no scrums
finishing the check thing where guys are along the boards and just taking them out of the play. Now you know the Flyer fans, Peter, be happy if they're just winning. But boy, they've been watching that kind of hockey for so long here, just ingrained in the fans that is the Flyer type of hockey, and I'm just interested in how they are accepting it. And they will if they win.
Oh, absolutely. And there's the key. But every year at the draft, when Philadelphia would draft somebody that was 6'3", 286 pounds, or some ridiculous thing, oh, he's a Flyer type player. Well, maybe that hasn't been winning. Maybe that hasn't gotten them to the place they want to be. And you look around, you've got some really talented guys in this hockey club.
Avalanche have the puck in the Philadelphia zone. O'Reilly finds Duchesne. Back towards the blue line for Hayden. Gives it right back to Duchesne. He's in, he shoots, and a sneaky shot. Found the goaltender Steve Mason, who makes the save. Matt Duchesne, big goal for the Avalanche on Thursday against Toronto. Gave him the lead in the third period. And then scored on the shootout situation. Eventually was the difference maker in that shootout. Brought through center ice by R.J. Umberger, the former Columbus Blue Jacket. And a lot of times, Peter, you'll see the neighborhood play, if you will, to take a baseball phrase, at the red line when you send it in. That time referee didn't give it to Umberger.
Yeah, what the rule of thumb is when you're watching, if a guy has the puck and he seems to shoot it from his own side, but the follow through of the stick crosses the line, they'll usually give you that one. But now all of a sudden the Avalanche get a face-off, and Nathan MacKinnon was 11 and 3 last game in face-offs for the Avalanche.
Yeah, 79% for MacKinnon. So I did the math.
Thank you, Rick. Well, I was not going to. I was
off on my head.
I was busy working that out.
Here's a chance. MacKinnon's shot gets blocked. And shot out to center ice by the Flyers. Coming back for it, Reed. Shoots across for Grossman. Up ice. Couturier. Cut off by Landeskog. Flipped it behind him. Pass up for Iginla. Sends it across the rink. Taken on the fly by Landeskog. A tough angle. Save made by Mason. And the puck tipped out to center ice. Flyers. Schenn catches up to the puck. Down the slot. Couturier turns and shoots. And a tip by Barrie sends the puck wide. Taken on the move with some speed by MacKinnon. Coming in on the off wing. Trying to center and a block. Grossman trying to stay with MacKinnon. Del Zotto reaches in for the puck. He's got it. Pass up ice for Brayden Schenn. He gave it away. A steal by Tanguay, but then he gets stripped of the puck. Out to center ice come the Flyers to the red line. Hammered in by Reed. Goes off an Avalanche. Then wide of the net. Johnson takes it. The real first attempt at a hit that we've seen in this game. That was Zach Rinaldo trying to deliver the hit for the Flyers. Mitchell, a little tap of his own in the corner on Schultz. Comes up with the puck. Pass comes through, and Del Zotto makes his way through the neutral zone. Long shot, juggled, and then covered by Berra. And he'll hold the puck for a faceoff. Just under 6 minutes left in the first. No goals in our game. Time for Did You Know, brought to you by Stevenson Automotive. Here is tonight's question. Pittsburgh recently had their 18 unanswered goal streak snapped. Philly owns the record. How many? Is it C1-19, C2-21, or C3-23? Text your answer, and perhaps you'll win some Avalanche tickets.
Michael, that's a remarkable run. I mean, you got to have shutouts, you got to have some great offense, and there's no chance the Edmonton Oilers are going to be in there because they may run up 12 goals in a game, but they give up 6. There wasn't going to be any shutouts for that club.
Underway again in the first period. Matt Duchene streaking down the wing, trying to center a pass, blocked by a sliding Nick Schultz. Played off the back of the netting. Grabbed by Hayda. He's really gone deep into the zone, John Hayda. Side of the net. Giving back to the Avalanche. Shot by Johnson, and there was a wrestling match going on behind the goaltender, Steve Mason. Now he has the puck, but there was some activity happening right behind him. And the penalty is going to be just on the Flyer play.
Philadelphia 55, 2 minutes interference.
And Mike, what set up this forcing Schultz to take the penalty, Mike? It was the Hayda down low and Johnson down low. Very aggressive. We've seen Redmond pinch a couple times down the wall, and all of a sudden, all the action down low, and now the Avalanche go on the power play.
The head score on the power play, a lucky winner will get Avalanche tickets to an upcoming game courtesy of American Lifestyle Furniture. Register at afwonline.com/altitude. The penalty is on Nick Schultz. Interference is the call, and the Avalanche get their first power play chance of this game. In a scoreless first period. Cross-ice pass towards Landeskog got tipped. Tanguay sends it back across. Couple of players with 2 power play goals this season for the Avs, McKinnon and Landeskog. Johnson waiting at the far side point. Blocked and then scooped out towards center ice by Braden Coburn. He just coming back. He missed 12 games because of a foot injury. And they are really happy to have him back in the lineup. Good skater, a guy that they want, especially against a team like the Avalanche who can really skate.
He's skate, but he's huge too. I mean, he's rangy, he's tough. He can handle. He's a real shutdown type of defenseman. But you saw those numbers right there, just baffling to the coaching staff why they're so good at home and so not so good on the road.
Oh, bad clearing by the Flyers allows the Avalanche to keep it inside the zone. Duchene threads a pass through. Barry gives to Holden. Down low for O'Reilly's shot, save made by Mason. I don't know if McGinn got quite what he wanted on that shot, but Mason still made an outstanding save.
I think in the aerial, I think McGinn actually picked it out of midair. It was coming across, and he was able to get it on net.
20 seconds left in the Schultz penalty. Back towards the point for Holden. Duchene. Back to Holden. His pass tips. And again, the Flyers do not do a good job at clearing it. Kept in by the Avalanche. And another chance for the Avs. Out of the box comes Schultz. Duchene walks in, he shoots. Bouncing puck. And it's free and back behind the net. Again, the Flyers not able to get it out of the zone. Kept in by Colorado. By my unofficial count, that's the 4th time since the start of the power play for the Avalanche, which now is over, that Flyers just couldn't get out of the zone. An opportunity where it looked like they'd be able to.
But credit the Avalanche. Pressure on the puck.
Chip out to center ice. And Eovaldi sends it deep into the Colorado zone. Gannon tripped. No call made. Leash backhands it down the ice, and the puck will go all the way down past the line. And Colorado is called for icing.
Well, Matt Duchene, who made a couple of just great moves last game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he just sort of spun himself into the open in the offensive zone. But here's the little pass right here. Watch McGinn. Oh, yeah, does a nice job to get something on this. He bats it out of midair, and Mason made a nice save.
Shot save made by Berra. On the one-timer, Berra got across from his left to his right in a hurry.
Mike, I was down at morning skate, and we were watching the practice, and I watched Claude Giroux shoot, and he just fires this lightning bolt of a shot. I mean, he gets so much on it, but he's just snake pit right now. He came into tonight's game with 58 shots. Only Ovechkin has had more, 4.5 a game, but he's got 2 goals, none his last 8 games.
If you're Reto Berra, you're getting across that fast and you're that big, doesn't leave a lot of room for the shooter.
And did he ever make a nice save on a 2-on-1 last game against Toronto? Kessel had the puck, so you got to respect shot the whole way. Walks in, and he just exploded from his left to right. Huge save in that game for the Avalanche.
Well, he's faced 10 shots, 10 saves for Berra in this first period. Flyers win the faceoff. 2:10 left to go in the period. And a soft pass is picked off by Mitchell. Drags the puck in. Taken away by Philadelphia. Stepping up. Schultz gains the blue line. Pass across for Simmons. Back to Schultz, the defenseman deep into the zone. Mitchell bangs it around. And it's kept in by the Flyers. Strike to Simmons. Hands it off to Giroux. Big line out for the Flyers. Voracek threads the pass back to the point. Sent across for Giroux. Back to the point. Shot by Coburn goes wide. Voracek take it off the boards. Pocheck kept alive by the Flyers in the Av zone. 90 seconds left to go in the period. Shot goes wide. Bounced, but Coburn kept it in. But Mitchell takes away the puck. Pocheck momentarily, and it does end up coming back to the Flyers. Pass to the line for Jake Voracek. For the trailer, Mitchell poke-checked it and sent the puck to center. Luke Schenn will dump it back into the Avalanche zone. We approach a minute remaining in the first period. No score in our game. Pass up ice for Gabe Landeskog. The Avs captain skies the puck deep. Drops in the corner. Oh! Hit by McKinnon. And then an injured Philadelphia Flyer player. And of course, that kind of play is going to get the ire up of the Philadelphia Flyers, and they come together to try to get a hold of Nate McKinnon.
Well, there's no way McKinnon meant to do this, but you shouldn't do this. That's the problem with this one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's tossed on this one. Because the player's going in, he's in a vulnerable situation, and you go to give him a push.
Waiting for the official call to see what there will be a penalty.
You see, and McKinnon didn't do that hard, Mike. He just hit him. You can see right away that McKinnon just didn't. You can see, oh my gosh, he didn't mean for the guy to be thrown like that. But again, Mike, it's that soft spot. There's a certain area away from the boards. When you're in that area, Mike, you can't get your hands up to protect yourself, and you're so close that you're going to go into the board so hard.
Well, conversation's going on a while here, Peter. There's 52 seconds to go in the period.
He's getting tossed, Mike. And Patrick Roy, rightfully so, it's going to be in a sense because there's no way there was no intent on this.
And he is just livid.
He's livid because he's talking to the lines because he wants to know who made the call. Who made the call? Now again, you watch it, Mike. It's not a hard push. It's just one of those ones. Did he deserve to get tossed out of the game, Mike? You know, They of course, are going to say, yeah, he is. That's one of the ones for the Avalanche. No, he shouldn't. But, you know, it is a dangerous play. But MacKinnon knew it right away. He did not mean to. He just did.
So it is a 5-minute power play for the Flyers. And just in case you're not aware of it, if you do score, you remain on the power play for the full 5 minutes. And the other part of this is now you've lost Nathan MacKinnon. Hand off in the near side corner, Giroux. Just a dozen seconds left to go. Side of the net for Simmons. Back towards Giroux. Works away along the boards. 5 seconds to go. Shot, score! With 3 seconds left to go in the period, a screen in front of Bear. I don't know if he saw this very well, Peter, if at all. And Giroux, as you said, Peter, has been snake bit. Well, he just got the snake back because he just scored a pretty goal.
And that's one that's going to resonate through the Avalanche bench because Patrick was incensed. The call was one of those ones that could have gone either way. But now, late in the period, they get a power play goal, Mike, and they will start on the power play to start the second period. So what a huge momentum swing in the course of the last few seconds in this hockey game.
The time has run out in the first period. So a goal with just 3 seconds left to go, and an angry bunch of Avalanche are headed to the locker room. And Gabe Landeskog and Jarome Iginla, one of the alternate captains, he's in discussion there. Landeskog's also in discussion with one of the referees. All right, let's show you the Jeep scoring summary. That Claude Giroux goal coming with 3 seconds left, and Simmons and Voracek with the assist. That's your Jeep scoring summary. Much discussion on the ice, but the Philadelphia Flyers take the lead late in the first period. 1-0 Philly over the Avalanche after 1 period in Philadelphia. After the break, stay tuned. Coming up next on Altitude is the Toyota Intermission Report. Thank you for watching the Toyota Intermission Report presented by the Toyota SUV family and your neighborhood Toyota stores. With 3 seconds remaining in the first period, Claude Giroux, with his 3rd power play goal of the season, has given the Flyers a 1-0 lead to take into the second period. They've still got 4 more minutes of power play time.
Well, certainly was something that was the turning point of that period as far as the momentum. It was originally called, Mike, I believe, a 2-minute minor. The linesman came over, the linesman that was behind the play, and talked to the referee as they huddle, and they gave him a 5-minute major with no game misconduct. So Nathan MacKinnon sits right now in the penalty box and will be back after his entire 5 minutes has been served. So if there is some good news for the Avalanche, it's the idea that he did not also get the game misconduct. 5-minute boarding major. Now the Avalanche, you got to stop the bleeding. There's Nathan MacKinnon right there. Like, you got to stop the bleeding and not allow another power play goal against. It'll be tough because I hate when a guy like Giroux, Patrick Roy, I mean, what he's done, Mike, very good job of. He'll get mad, but then he instantly takes control of the bench again. He doesn't linger with it. He's still boiling, trust me. But he knows he's got to coach these next minutes and try to get it just a 1-0. But as I said, I hate when a guy like Giroux gets a goal. You're going, oh boy, the floodgate's going to open.
Other thing, Peter, in the old days, if a player had done that against one of the Flyers and he doesn't get a game misconduct, boy, they'd be waiting for him to come out of that penalty box, wouldn't they?
Oh,
to get at him.
Well, it never would have gotten that far. It would have started already in the corner down there, and there would have been a mass line brawl, and then they would have been down between the benches, underneath. Exactly,
On the team buses after the game.
Actually, we'd still be talking about it as it's
still be going on.
It'd still be going on. Yeah, exactly.
At center ice, Giroux. You were laughing, telling the story about how none of these players know or haven't been involved in a bench clearing brawl, which was happening every game for a while here in Philadelphia. Power play in effect for the Flyers. It continues, a 5-minute major on Nathan MacKinnon. And If you score on a major, you continue on the power play. Back behind the net. Strite will come back and pick it up. 3.5 minutes remaining in the penalty on MacKinnon. A 5-minute major for Boarding. Already a power play goal scored by Claude Giroux. That came with 3 seconds to go in the first period. We're early now in the second period of play. From the point, Flyers. Strite winds and makes the pass across. Shot by Couturier gets blocked. Flyers manage to keep it in. That shot goes down low off the side of the net and then wide. Back to the corner. Couturier then slammed around the wall towards the near side. Lecavalier has the puck. Pass back towards the point. Del Zotto along the blue line. Back to Del Zotto. Cavalier shoots. Peter, you said you were watching him this morning, and he just demonstrated how hard he can shoot that puck.
And he's so hard and quick.
Cavalier cannot reach the puck. Put off the glass by the Avalanche, but the Flyers keep it inside the blue line. 2:20 remaining in this 5-minute major. MacKinnon sits in the penalty box. Cavalier gets the puck free for Umberger. Back to the point. Del Zotto moves the puck across on a pass. Couturier goes into the corner. Back to the point. Del Zotto. Back to Couturier. His shot gets blocked and it rebounds out to center ice. 2 minutes left to go. Pass up ice brought in. Giroux with a chance. And it climbs around the glass. Pass back behind the net for Braden Shen, who had a very strong first period. Simmons moves the puck to McLeod. Tip back behind the net. Holden finds Jan Hayda. He'll see a seam and he shoots the puck down the ice. Off of Mason behind the net. Voracek hustles to go back and get the puck. 90 seconds left in the penalty. Voracek for the trailer. Giroux coming right down the middle. Pulls back towards the wall with the puck. Side of the net. Simmons rams it in and scores. And it is 2-0. Another power play goal on this 5-minute major called on Nathan MacKinnon. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Flyers. And Wayne Simmons gets his team-leading 4th power play goal of the season.
Well, Voracek and Giroux, Mike, there was an injury, and Simmons, who is a natural right winger, was put on the left wing on this line. And Mike, he responds with a goal, and now a goal and an assist in this game. Giroux now has a goal and an assist in the game. And Mike, we're not done with this power play. And here, about 1 minute and 20 remaining. This is absolutely close the door time for the Colorado Avalanche.
Here's a scoring summary for you. The power play goal, Wayne Simmons' 4th power play goal of the season. And Giroux and Voracek with the assists. And as Peter pointed out, still another 1:20 remaining as the puck was dropped at center ice on this power play chance. Duchesne will put a little pressure on Del Zotto. Couturier trying to get the puck away from Duchesne. It bounces free. Del Zotto up ice. And the puck is snagged and sent across the ice for Umberger. And just inside the line. And it kicks ahead. Talbot racing after the puck. The former Flyer will get to it. Circles behind Mason. And Talbot doing a nice job to use up some time. Still battling for the puck. Waves at it. And that was a terrific job there by Max Talbot. They ate up some precious time for the Flyers. Pass up the middle. Carried in. Voracek. Pass to the far wing. Rolls free behind the net. Reed tapped it around the wall. Voracek to the half boards. Voracek. Handoff to Giroux. His shot into the skates of Gennon. Slapped around the glass. Slowed up. Kept inside the blue line. Pass goes across for Giroux to take. Side of the net for Voracek. Circling behind the net. Throws it over towards Giroux. MacKinnon has come out of the penalty box. So the power play is done. Shot by Giroux off the blocker of the goaltender Berra. And so the Avalanche give up 2 goals in that shorthanded situation. 2 power play goals for the Flyers. And they're up 2-0 in the game with 15.5 minutes to go in the second period. Strite for Philly. Winds it around the wall. Giroux waiting in the far corner. Pass in the slot. And the shot by Strike gets tipped wide of the net. Voracek battles through Mitchell. One hand the puck back to the point for Simmons. Winds. Pass across. Giroux. Cross ice for Simmons. Works his way behind the net. Comes out in front. Still with the puck. Pass to the point. Coburn shot. Save made. And then covered by Berra. That's now 15 shots for the Flyers, and they lead this game 2-0.
Okay, Mike, anytime there's a 5-minute major, you expect to get scored on once. If you can kill all 5 minutes, that's great. But two, it puts you in a hole. There's no question in a game where, you know, you're in another team's building. You're 1-3-3 on the road this season. Now it becomes, Mike, it's just a next goal game. I mean, down 3-0 is tough to come back anytime in the National Hockey League, and now the Avalanche need to get that next goal.
Barry fans on the clearing attempt. Centered out in front. Get back behind the net. Ronaldo kicking at the puck. A little help from behind. And it's worked free up the near side boards. Cut off along the near side. Belmar, Coburn for the Flyers. For the Avalanche, Duchesne. And Redmond, and the Avalanche end up with the puck. Carried up ice and going wide is Barry. Dropped it to the trailer. O'Reilly threw it towards the front of the net. Off of Mason. McGinn to the half boards for O'Reilly. Saucers a pass across for Barry to take. Down low. Duchesne flipped it out in front, but it comes free for Belmar. And his pass comes out to center ice. Angles off the boards back into the Colorado end. Barry's got it. Flyers making a line change. He got a whistle. The net down in the Flyers zone had been moved, so that's the reason that they've stopped the play. With 14:03 left in the second, 2-0 lead for the Flyers.
Now for the Avalanche, they need to get things going offensively. Their big guys need to come up with a big play, a big goal right now to get some confidence going. Last game, it was, you know, Tanguay had a big goal to tie it at 2. Duchesne had a big goal to make it 3-2. Those are the kind of goals they need right now.
The Avalanche get to the puck. To Ginla. Snaps a shot. Got it blocked. At the point. Shot by Johnson. Deflected away. And the Flyers chip the puck to center ice. Pushed on for the Cavaliers. Staying with it. But there's a late whistle. Flyers were offside. And we'll return in a moment to Philadelphia, where the hometown Flyers are leading the Avalanche by a score of 2-0. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Backs.
Well, that includes the game today, the Calgary over Florida. Mike, look at this. I could not believe this number. Someone asked me this morning, what do you think the percentage was? And I was going 21, 22 in my mind. It's 43% of the time a team overcome a deficit to win. And I looked at the Avalanche. 9 of the 15 games that they played have been won by a club that has been trailing at some point in the game. It's a remarkable number.
Well, it's such a turnaround from where this game was, Peter, 15 years ago. Where if you got a 1-2-0 lead, it was over. That was the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
I think in some ways, as weird as it sounds, McKinnon walks in. It's almost good for the game.
Oh, absolutely.
That if you're a fan, you're watching, and your team falls behind, you think, you know what, there is a chance to come back and win.
Absolutely. Good, because it just got to be so predictable. And what you love about sports is the unpredictable nature of what can happen inside a game. But just looking at the one game that's finished today, Calgary wins again. And Mark Giordano, Mike, he picked up a goal, a shorthanded goal, a couple of assists. As a defenseman now, he has 18 points, tied for 3rd in the league in scoring. I mean, Calgary's defensemen are throwing up points like you just can't believe.
It's 20 points now for Calgary. I mean, they're 9-5-2. And playing a very difficult division. From Anaheim, LA, San Jose. Everberg using his strength to break free of Del Zotto. Works his way up the wall. Handoff goes to Mitchell. He leaves the puck for again. He shoots, and the rising shot comes around the shelf after missing high. And we get a stop and play. Apparently the puck had gone out of play. Luxury has an address. Cooney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. They're available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs.
Just as you know, this road trip, the Avalanche now will have a couple of days off here in Philadelphia. So, Mike, they won't be, if they have to shorten the bench, whatever they have to do, they're going to do in this game.
I think 2 days is good. How about the Flyers? Yeah, they've got 5 days off before their next game at home. And at center ice, puck handled by Grossman as he drifts back into the Philadelphia zone. There to center, Giroux. Soft pass ahead. Voracek with a couple of assists. Trying to feed it back towards Giroux. Intercepted and then iced by the Avs, but Duchesne gets to the puck first, and so they wave off the icing. Backhand try and trying to slip it through with a screen in front of the net. But Mason was able to make the save on that backhander try by Matt Duchesne.
Like I thought possibly we would be in a situation where we'd come into Philadelphia and the scoring leader might be on the Philadelphia Flyers, but I thought it would be Giroux. I never in my wildest imagination thought that Voracek would be second in the league to Sidney Crosby with points this season. Sidney had himself a day, Mike. He picked up 4. He's gonna. The man is just a machine.
Boy, the power play, almost unstoppable.
Nearly 40%.
Again in shots, deflects and goes wide of the net. Braden Shen, quick pass up ice and carried through the middle. Couturier. Drop pass for Reed. Down the slot. Shot by Schultz. And it goes wide. Dug out from behind the net by Reed. Back to the point. Strike with a chance. Deflected wide of the net. McKinnon tied up. Reed up again. And Shen into the corner. Makes the pass. McGinley had it for a moment for the Avs. Braden Shen with possession again, centered out in front, and what a job in front of the net there by Nate Yennon. Schultz bouncer off the boards right at the blue line, and is punched ahead deep into the Colorado end. Landeskog waiting behind the net. Avalanche changing some things up. Quick out in the pass, goes to center ice for Talbot to take. And Landeskog heads toward the Colorado bench for a change. Centering try, picked away by the Flyers. Dragged up the near side boards and flipped out to center ice by Atkinson. Slapped ahead by Del Zotto. And the feed up ice for McLeod's got a man going down the middle. It's Cleach. The pass towards him gets deflected. Picked up by Cleach. Behind him, Redmond shot, glove save made by Mason. His best save of the game. And then Coburn and McLeod are going to have to be separated.
Mike, I thought, as we look at Redmond, Mike, who, you know, he's going to get some ice time for the Avalanche. With Stewart out of the lineup for a while, it's going to be, he's going to be able to get into a rhythm. And I think for all players, for example, I think it's harder being the 7th defenseman than it is the 13th forward. The 13th forward comes into the lineup, like you're there for energy usually. You're usually playing the 4th line. When you're that defenseman that has to come in for an injury, it is so hard because the other team is going to see, is he ready? You're going to see the other team's best lines, especially when you're on the road. So you really have to be prepared.
He's had stretches, Peter, where he's been a healthy scratch for 7 games, healthy scratch for 4 games, and you got to come in, as you said, do the job. And I think to his credit, he's been getting minutes. He's played 18.5 minutes in the game on Thursday against Toronto and played well. Beautiful assist to set up Tanguay's goal. Shot from the blue line by Holden through a whole crowd of people in front of Mason, but he was able to make the save.
And just getting back to Redmond, Mike, he made the most important play in that game against Toronto. He was in the box when a power play goal was scored to make it 2-1. And you know, that just eats you up when you haven't been playing much. He made that 80-foot pass to Tanguay in a breakaway, and 1 minute later that tied it at 2. And it really calmed everything down. And it was such an important play in that game.
As for Wayne Simmons, he's got a power play goal tonight. Got 7 this season. Dumped in. Side of the net. Giroux wins the one-on-one battle for the puck. Makes the pass behind the net for Voracek. Centers. Blocked by Hejda. Played off the boards. And picked up and carried through center by Duchene with O'Reilly trailing. Duchene trying to work his way around Grossman. We've seen that signature move by Duchene before. We've seen it work. That time it didn't. Handoff. Voracek to Simmons. It slid away from him. Makes the pass behind the net for Voracek. Chipped it along for Giroux. Kick back towards the point. Del Zotto around behind the net for Voracek. Uses that big body to pick up the pass. Sends it back to the point. Schultz down the boards for Voracek. Cuts across. And a threat of pass through. But it's tipped out to center. Back across for Giroux. Shovels the puck into the corner. 9.5 to go. Second period. 2-0 for the Flyers on 2 power play goals. Mavs looking for a breakout pass, but Flyers, everybody covered.
When the Avs get control of that puck, there's not a lot of forechecking. I mean, they are sitting back and just letting the Avalanche try to come through that neutral zone.
Puck comes free. Couturier backing up to the boards. Pass to the point. Del Zotto makes the pass in the slot. Shot by Schenn, and that one missed. I'm very impressed with Brayden Schenn's game tonight. Got a lot of chance. Tip on net. There's a chance. Oh, big time save. Shot scored. Right after Barra made a brilliant save, the Avs could not get rid of the puck, and there's Brayden Schenn. He just seemed like he was due for one, and there it was. An easy one to pocket into the back of the net, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Flyers.
It's interesting. Schenn, like normally a center iceman, has been moved to the left wing with Couturier and Reed. And when a couple of injuries happened to the Philadelphia Flyers, they thought maybe Schenn would be that guy who was moved up with Giroux and Voracek. No, they kept this line because they liked the chemistry of this line. And you can see why. I mean, they have moved the puck well. They have been dangerous. And Schenn, even though, you know, a couple guys have a couple points for the Philadelphia Flyers, he's been the best player to this point.
Steal by the Flyers in the Colorado zone down the slot. Cavalier lost the puck. Pass out to center. Scooped up. Spinning around. The puck then stick checked away by McLeod. Grossman for Philly. Pass didn't get out of the zone. Barry. Nice play to keep it in at the blue line. Towards the corner. The puck pops up in the air. Dragged along the end boards by Talbot. Tied up by the Cavalier. Talbot breaks free. Handoff in the corner. Dancing along the end boards is Barry. Threw it out in front. Stopped by Mason. Backhanded off the boards. And it's a race for the puck. It'll go wide of Barra, but he'll reach out with the glove. Meanwhile, Yedlin gets tangled up, trying to prevent Jason Atkinson from getting to the puck. But Barra's got it covered. That means a face-off when we return. The Flyers have added a couple of goals in the second period. They are up 3-0.
Talking to Jan Hejda yesterday about the Daniel Winnik hit against the Toronto Maple Leafs last game, and he was saying that, you know, Winnik kind of jumped and there was a collision, but then he turned to get back into the play, and then all of a sudden he saw everybody kind of rushing past him back to see how Winnik was. He turned. He had no idea what had happened. He hadn't even seen the play. Of course, when everybody told him what happened, he got in contact or sent word to Winnik, you know, wishing him best. But fortunately for Winnik, he was able to travel with the team. He's back in Toronto. You know, he's being monitored right now by the Maple Leafs, but doesn't amazingly seem to be any worse for wear.
That's good news on that part for sure. That was one scary moment. And thankfully, Daniel Winnik appears like he's on his way to recovery. Good news. Meanwhile, the Flyers here tonight up 3-0 over the Avalanche. Couple of power play goals. Giroux and Simmons, and Brayden Schenn with an even strength goal at 11:24 from Reed and Del Zotto. And it's 3-0 Philadelphia. The Flyers out shooting the Avs 18-14. Elbar moves the puck around the wall. And shot back into the Colorado end. Coming after it is Hejda, but they've blown the play dead because of an icing call on the Philadelphia Flyers. Next up for the Avalanche, Tuesday. The Avalanche continue Game 2 of this 4-game road trip. Last time, I know, Peter, a little tear in your eye. We won't see the Nassau Coliseum again. And we'll begin our coverage 4:30 on Tuesday afternoon for the Avalanche and the Islanders.
And amazingly, Mike, after all the years of trying, they could not get a new arena in Nassau. And it's going to be down in Brooklyn. The new home of the New York Islanders is going to be in Brooklyn.
There to center ice by Erik Johnson. Centering pass for McGinn. Broken up. Chance. And that one slides wide. Picked up by the Flyers. Simmons going to scoop it around the wall. Drew intercepts. Pass up ice for Voracek. Jake Voracek shoots the puck in. Slowed up by Barrett. Chopped around the boards. Reversed around to the corner. Simmons up the far wing. Pass. Didn't get out of the zone. Kept in. Voracek turns and shoots. The save by Barrett. The rebound. Another save by Barrett. And he has the puck covered. Now that chance by Claude Giroux. 3-0 Philly in the second.
Oh, Mike, throughout this show, we've been talking about this new look Philadelphia Flyer club. They're not taking penalties and they're scoring. You look at the clubs right now: Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Vancouver. What a turnaround it's been for them. And then Philadelphia, Washington, and Philadelphia, Mike, in the last now 5 home games, and count this one, is outscoring the opposition 18-6 in those home games.
Wow, that's quite a margin. Flyers up 3-0 over the Avs with just under 6 minutes remaining. On the draw, oh, we're gonna have a fight. Jarome Iginla. And the Philadelphia player trying to take his helmet off. That is Braden Shen. And Iginla comes in with the left hand trying to help Shen take the helmet off. It's kind of covering his eyes a little bit. Now it's off, and Iginla trying to land some punches with that big right hand of his. He lands a couple. Shen battling back. And Shen down to the ice. And Iginla, the linesman, boy, Iginla just doesn't want to stop. He is angry. Shen looks like he's hurting a little bit.
Well, Jarome Iginla, I can always remember Adam Foote, who was as tough as they come. Here's a little conversation, Mike, that happened before. And they were going to go. Adam Foote telling him, Mike, Iginla fought as hard as anybody that he fought. He was trying to get the helmet off, Mike, and the referee went over and said, no, don't take it off. I will step in and not let you fight if you take it off.
You can see, look at that right hand in the thumb area.
Just when we talk about the new look Flyers, no fight.
They revert. It's hard to change your stripes. Had it center. Oh, a little something going on. I talked to somebody, Peter, in between periods from the Flyers organization. We were talking about would they try to do something on McKinnon? And the person said to me, if anybody's going to do something, it would be Zach Rinaldo. And that was what we were just watching. Rinaldo was trying to get at McKinnon, and then McLeod is getting involved for the Avalanche. And he goes after Rinaldo. Well, it's starting to feel a little like the old Flyer days.
Yeah, I'm getting scared.
Wonder why you're under the desk.
There was just nasty all over the ice. And the Avalanche are saying, how, what's going on here? I mean, here's a play coming in. Well, I mean, he cross-checked him like he's asking for it, and then Landeskog gets hit, and he comes after him.
Iginla and Shen already in the box, so they're majors for fighting. Cody McLeod gets a 2-minute minor for roughing. And that's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
The Flyers do not get a penalty, or a minor penalty in that sequence. Save made on that shot by Voracek by Berra. And the rebound comes out to center ice. So 5th power play chance of the game for the Flyers. They are 2 for 4 in this game. Both power play opportunities coming during that long 5-minute sequence of the major. Another penalty on Colorado. We're about to see a 5-on-3 power play chance for Philadelphia.
For a minute 35.
Nate Gennin with the skate towards the penalty box.
Calling for high sticking.
And there are now 3 Avalanche players in the box. McGinley, McLeod, and Gennin.
And again, that's one of those ones the referee just has to call. You get the stick up. It just rode up, and Gennin catches him in the face, but the rule is you have to be in control of your stick.
It's a 2-minute minor on Nate Gennin. The Avalanche penalty killers will be Cleach, Hayda, and Holden. Giroux, well, good win on the faceoff, but then cleared out by Colorado. Nice win. That's going to eat up a little bit of time. Minute 35 when the puck was dropped of a 2-man advantage for Philadelphia. Good work by the Avs, but puck put back towards the point for the Cavaliers. Strike down low for Giroux. The Cavaliers strike. 5-on-3 Flyers. Pass comes across, and a nice clear out by the Avs' Marc-Andre Cleach. Cavalier will come back and pick it up. A minute remaining in the McLeod penalty. Handoff to Giroux. Lost the puck. It comes free. Simmons took it back for the Flyers. Pass to the corner. Giroux. Down low. Simmons couldn't fire the shot. That's about the spot where he scored earlier. And the kind of same sort of play where he turned in front of the net. That time not able to get a shot away. So far the Avs done a nice job on this 5-on-3. Still no 30 seconds though to kill. Tip to the corner. First to it is Eric Johnson. Worked loose. Nice pass in front. And the Cavaliers settles the puck down. Pass. Shot. Score. It is 4-0. We got a taste there of the kind of passing Claude Giroux can do.
That was just a great play by a great player. And Lecavalier, nice play backdoor to set up Giroux for the goal. But that was just great passing by these guys for the Philadelphia Flyers in this 5-on-3. Good pressure. You're going to outman the Avalanche down low. And watch the pass by Lecavalier. Handcuffed him a little bit and gets it across to Giroux. And now, as we talked about, Mike, you know, he was in a slump. He was getting all the shots in the world, but he couldn't score. Now all of a sudden he's got 2.
And that's 3 power play goals in this game for the Philadelphia Flyers. Peter, this season the Avs have not had 2 power play goals against in a game, and tonight they have given up 3. Now that was a 5-on-3 power play goal
against a power play that was struggling before tonight's game.
And there's still more power play time. This now becomes the 6th power play opportunity for Philadelphia. They are 3 for 5. There's a dozen seconds left in the penalty on Nate Gennin. Reed's pass over the line, onside Flyers. 3 seconds to go in the Gennin penalty. He's out of the box. The puck at the side of the net. And the referee lost sight of it. And so he stops the play with 2:52 remaining in the second period. 4-0 Philadelphia.
Well, the Avalanche have really been aggressive, but right here on a 5-on-3, they're running around a little bit, but what a pass by Lecavalier. It handcuffed him as it comes across. He's able to settle it down and move it across to Giroux.
Scored his second goal of the night. He's got 4 goals this season. All have come on the power play this year. Tyson Barrie trying to get out of his own zone. And it does squeak out to center. stop and play. Barry smacked from behind on, I believe it was Belmar. Received that hit from Tyson Barry.
Well, it is going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game is going to play itself out. I mean, it's hanging on the edge right now, feeling nasty.
Get it. Coming back for the puck. Ginla and Schenn still serving their 5-minute majors for fighting. And the puck turned over. Grabbed along the near side. Pass in front. And that one just went wide. Avalanche trying to come out to center ice. Get it. Tagged along the boards. Puck back into the Colorado end. Barry. Pass for O'Reilly. He finds Duchesne in the center zone. Sends it on for McGinn. He shoots wide of the net. Reynolds around the wall. Tyson Barry. 2 minutes to go in the period. Pass towards McGinn. Lost it. Then Duchesne steals it back. Centers in front. Save made by Mason. Rebound to the corner. Barry's got it for the Avalanche. Working his way back behind the net. Up the boards. Out to center ice. Belmar's pass tipped by Vandevelde into the Colorado zone. Avalanche get it back with 1:20 remaining in the second. 4-0 Flyers. They got a goal with 3 seconds left in the first period. They've added 3 more here in the second. Zach Redmond for Colorado. Young defenseman makes the pass out to center. Put back out into the neutral zone by Philadelphia. Redmond. Shot and save made by Mason. Shot by Redmond comes wide of the net. Around the boards and out. And in the final minute of the period. Redmond for the Avs. Bounce pass ahead to center ice. Going over the line by Everberg. Backhander up high. Wrap around out in front. And it's taken away by Philadelphia. Carried to center. Voracek. Bring it in on the off wing. Hayden gets between him and the puck. Well, that's Tanguay to get to it with half a minute left to go in the period. Pass slides out to center. Straight. Shoots it across the rink. In return, off the board for the penalty boxes. Pass out at center ice. Giroux. Shoulder down by Everberg. And the puck lifted in. The Avs zone. It's going to be into the Philly zone. Avs attacking, but Flyers send the puck back into the Colorado end. Last seconds of the period. Mitchell takes one last shot that goes wide, and we've come to the end of the second period. And Everberg put that puck towards the net after the buzzer signaled the end of the period, and there were 3 Flyers immediately around him saying they don't like what he did there.
What he did, Mike, was he hit Giroux. He hit Giroux and knocked him down at center ice, and they're responding to that.
A little of both, I would imagine. Well, Peter, 3 goals by the Flyers. They control this one 4-0 after 2 periods of play. Simmons, Schenn, and Giroux for his second with the goals during the second period. Stay tuned for the Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Pepsi, proud to support the Colorado Avalanche. Pepsi, live for now. And by the Ford Explorer. It's time you did your exploring. Ford Explorer, go further. The Philadelphia Flyers lead this game 4-0 as we head towards the third period of play. Well, Peter, why don't we take a look at our Lexus on the ice and see what you saw during that second period of play?
Just a continuation of Claude Giroux's season, and unfortunately for the Avalanche, he's now scoring some goals for this Philadelphia Flyer club. And none bigger, certainly, than the one that came with just seconds remaining. In the first period, the Avalanche were on that penalty kill from McKinnon in the box, and 3-4 seconds remaining, and they make it 1-0. And Mike, it just led to another power play goal on the penalty to McKinnon. They made it 2-0. But Giroux, Mike, is having just such a great night. 6 shots on goal. He's 12 wins and 18 faceoffs, and he has a 3-point night. And Mike, we're getting a real good look at why he was a finalist along with Getzlaf and Crosby last year for the most valuable player, the Hart Trophy in the National Hockey League. He is the captain of this hockey club, and certainly he is the leader of this hockey club.
And you look at Jake Voracek and you go, oh, he's got a quiet 3 points tonight. But that you know you're having a great season when those points just keep adding up. And with those 3 assists for Voracek, I mean, that gives him 22 points tonight. If Crosby doesn't have a 5-point night, you now have the scoring lead in the NHL.
Well, one thing that did happen, Simmons, as he was going off, Mike, he gave a little gesture to the Avalanche bench and got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And so now he is in the box for a couple of minutes.
Right, so it's a power play chance for the Avs, their second of the game. Peter, we saw a little bit of bad blood there in the second period after it became 4-0. Do you think we'll see anything escalate during this third period of play?
You know what? You just don't know. But like, neither club is really built that way. You know, you may see an individual situation, but I'm not sure you're going to see something that really, all of a sudden, we're just sitting back watching 15 minutes of mayhem. You know, it's just not the way that it goes.
When Colorado scores in the third period, you score with Subway. Go to your local Subway restaurant tomorrow for any regular 6-inch sub for just $3 after 3. Power play for the Avalanche. Second of the game. 0 for 1 tonight. Has moved the puck around. McKinnon's wrist shot gets blocked and sent down the ice by the Flyers. Coming back to pick it up. Alex Tanguay makes the pass and shot in from center ice by Landeskog. Hops over the stick of Mason towards the corner. McGinley's pass was wide of McKinnon, and it's flicked down the ice by Chris Vendevelde. Eric Johnson for the Avalanche. Headed up ice. We played a minute in the third period. 4-0 in favor of the Flyers. The Avalanche with just 18 shots in this game. Peter, this is a Flyers team, if you combine the last 2 games, had given up 71 shots. But the Avalanche just with 18 through 2 periods, a little bit into the third period tonight. Duchesne cutting through. And while it has certainly been the power play goals that have been the difference in this game, this is the Flyers team that one of the better 5-on-5 teams in the National Hockey League. Coming into the game, they outscored their opponents 23-11 in even strength situations. The Avs, though, right now on the power play. The steal, and it's shot down the ice by the Flyers. Sent down by Belmar all the way into the Colorado end. Duchesne. With just seconds left in the Simmons penalty. He's out of the penalty box, and the Avalanche are 0 for 2 tonight on their power play opportunities. Kept in by Redmond. Flyers get it out to center ice. Lead pass carried in by Wayne Simmons. He's one of the goal scorers in this game. Shot gets blocked by Redmond. The Avalanche defenseman will carry out to center ice. Backhanded in. I don't know what it is about this building, but the Avalanche last 3 times shot and scored. Great looking shot from the far circle, and the Avalanche get on the board. And there goes the shutout bid of Steve Mason with a rocket of a shot that beats him. And the Avalanche now trail 4-1 here in the third period of play. Max Talbot with his first goal of the season.
And Max Talbot was really looking forward to this game. Of course, he had been traded from Philadelphia to the Colorado Avalanche last Halloween, and anytime you're coming back, you want to put on a good performance. Great shot right here, as you mentioned, his first goal of the season, and this line, it continues to just play well for the Avalanche.
Leach, McLeod, and Talbot is the line. And they've given the Avs a goal here in the third period. Lifted up the wall. Schultz overskates the puck. Leach makes a pass to center ice. And shot in towards Mason. He'll glove it with that right hand. and hold it for a faceoff.
And let's go back to the goal for the Colorado Avalanche. And the one thing that this line has done consistently well is put pressure on the man with the puck down deep. They really work hard to hustle into the zone. Cleach, McLeod in that situation are right on top. All of a sudden the puck's out to Talbot, and the Avalanche get their first goal of the game.
Here's your Subway scoring summary. $3 subs tomorrow. Max Talbot at .229, unassisted goal, his first of the season. Shots are close. 21 for the Flyers, 20 for the Avalanche.
Well, there's no question, Mike. The story of this game is going to be the play or the call on Nathan MacKinnon. That was a 5-minute major. We're going to explain a little bit about that when we get an opportunity, but they got 2 power play goals on that.
And it just changed the momentum of the game.
We were sitting here going, okay, it's been almost a perfect first period for the Avalanche. Not a lot going on. You want to, you want to get yourself going inside of the game, and all of a sudden, bang, they score with just seconds remaining. And that was a big moment in this game.
We've been playing a good road game. Start this long 4-game road trip, and then things change. And especially that last and second goal by Giroux changed the whole complexion of the night. Vandervelde pass behind the net. Back to the point, and the shot looking for a tip goes wide. Elzado pinched in from the point. Mitchell takes away the puck for the Avalanche and hooks it off the boards, and Tyson Barrie hustling after the puck. Rammed around the wall, and Iginla beats everybody to the puck. Goes in the corner for Barrie. Trying to center. Gets checked. Coburn comes back behind the net. Bounces back to him. Up the wall. Barrie in front. Iginla turns and shoots. And a chance for MacKinnon, but he is muscled away from the puck. He was trying to get to it. Coburn got in his way for Philadelphia, and Mason able to cover. For Max Talbot, first goal since March 18th in Montreal.
And for the Avalanche, they certainly haven't given up. Did you see Barrie down low? Iginla had a good shift. He was out there working down low. He's in front with 5 guys. Talking to Ronaldo, who had gone. He was the player that went after MacKinnon.
On the face-off, but the Flyers end up with possession. Fired to center by Schenn, and he pirouettes as he shoots the puck into the corner. Landeskog comes up with the puck. Nice pass up ice for Iginla. To get some numbers down into the Flyer zone. Drop pass for Johnson. His shot tipped wide of the net. Freed up behind the cage, and the Flyers got it. Directed out to center ice. 15-20 still to go in the third. Give to Erik Johnson. Avalanche on this trip, still with 3 games to go. Tuesday on Long Island, Thursday against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden, then finishing up against New Jersey against the Devils a week from tonight.
Mike had a nice talk with Don Koharski, who, the referee in chief sort of of tonight's game, the supervisor here, on the MacKinnon play. Here's what happened on the play, why there was no game misconduct. Right here, this looks like it could be a cross-checking. Right here, that would be the call. He was called boarding on anything that has to do with the stick, spearing, high sticking, cross-checking. It's an automatic 5 minutes if it's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. If it's boarding, if it's a non-stick related penalty, it's a discretionary call, 2, 5, 5 in a game. It can be any number of different things.
He could have gotten a game misconduct.
He could have gotten a game.
Up to the referee to make that decision.
But there is no discretion on stick fouls. There is discretion on non-stick fouls.
Flyers board check, backhands it out to center ice. Holden had it for a moment, take it away. Simmons to the red line. The Avalanche, last 3 times into this building, they've not been able to come up with a win. And trailing at 4-1 with 14.5 minutes to go in the third period. The puck is tipped out of play.
And just getting back to the conversation with Koharski. Koharski was saying that was a good in-game management by the referee. Because he could have called it any number of things, but he called it that, so he got 5 minutes, but allowed him to stay in the game. And Kucharski felt that possibly Patrick thought that it was an automatic situation. The kid was going to get kicked out of the game, and that's why he was so incensed, because he did have a conversation then with the referee after the first intermission, and he seemed to be, according to Kucharski, much more calm and you know, had a good conversation, understood the penalty.
Cavalier backhander out towards center ice. Don Kucharski said that Coach Waugh talked to the referees in between periods?
No, not in between. At the end of the intermission, they came over and they had a conversation. He said, listen, I could have, if I called it, you know, cross-checking, because in the actual letter of the law, that was important. But he gave him boarding so that he allowed himself the option to make a discretionary call.
Flyers have the puck in the Avs zone. 14 minutes left to go. Backhanded around. Cut off by Hina. The Avs defenseman nails it around the wall. And Talbot, who's the goal scorer tonight for the Avalanche. Cuts across. He shoots. Caught low with the glove by Steve Mason. Well, the Avalanche get a little left from Max Talbot, getting his first goal of the season. Avs trail by 3. We asked you our Stevenson automotive question. Pittsburgh recently had their 18 unanswered goal streak snapped. Philly owns the record. How many? The answer, 19.
As a matter of fact, they did it 2 times. They had 19 goals in a row 2 times. You look at the back in 99 and 96, Pittsburgh came in, of course, this year, and the Flyers codes in 04, 03, 04, Mike. That is a lot of goals to score without having the other team score one.
Resume play in the 3rd period. And the Flyers leading the Avs by a score of 4-1. There will be one more game this regular season between the teams. It'll happen on New Year's Eve in Denver. Barry's pass, Tanguay, shot, score! There's a little life here for the Avalanche. Peter, the Flyers have not had a shot on goal since they scored their 4th goal back in the 2nd period. The Avalanche now have scored twice, and there's a lot of time left. There's 13-14 remaining in the 3rd period.
And the Avalanche have taken over the lead in shots on goal, but again, which line is it? And who is it? It's Alex Tanguay and his line mates, Everberg and Mitchell. Nice pass. But Mike, I love this play. It looks like it's a soft goal, but you see Alex had his head up the whole way. Tanguay's looking the whole way. You see him sporting that cut under his lip. I think it's about 8 stitches that he took last game.
Here's the Subway scoring summary. Alex Tanguay, he just continues to marvel this season. Tyson Barrie, Dennis Everberg getting the assist. Everberg's 2nd NHL assist. Tyson Barrie, it's now 9 assists for Tyson Barrie this season. And how about Alex Tanguay? 6 goals for Colorado to lead the team. And it's 4-2, and all of a sudden this Flyers team had gone back into that prevent defense and hadn't had a shot since the 16:22 mark of the 2nd period. And the Avalanche now have scored twice. And McKinnon breaks in, dropped it off, shot, glove save made by Mason. And sometimes those 4-0 leads in hockey, you just sort of, you just go into neutral almost in your play. And if you're the Avalanche, you can score goals, you can take advantage.
Absolutely, and you get a little momentum like that. There's the momentum goal. Talbot's goal kind of, okay, we broke the shutout, but now you got a little momentum going in this game. We saw it, where they're going to see the rest of this period. Defensemen jumping up into the play.
Now for the Flyers, they've got to try to turn the switch back on. And that's not always an easy thing to do.
Also, Mike, we're not going to see any silliness. It was sitting there. Something could happen. But for Alex Tanguay, as when you look at his goals, they're always such either great shots or great reads. You know, the ability to be in the right spot at the right time. There's a beautiful one against Montreal. This is last game against Toronto. I mean, he just broke in, and here tonight, just waited long enough. Mason was thinking maybe he was passing across and just opened up, and he threw it through 5-hole.
Giroux, handoff, Voracek shots, and that's the first shot of the period for the Philadelphia Flyers. And Bear is able to make the save.
But Voracek, again, it was Simmons in front, and as we mentioned, he's playing sort of a different position. He and Jamie McGinn, kind of similar styles. The two of them, they don't really like each other because they're on opposite teams. But Simmons came over from the LA Kings in the Richards deal.
He has a goal in this game. He has 7 goals this season. Leads the Flyers in that category. Into the corner with the puck. Centered for the Cavalier. Broken up by Gannon. And the half defenseman moves out to center ice. Flips away. Knocked down at the line. No, they wave it off. It looked like it was going to be an offside situation, but then the referee waved it off and allowed the play to continue, and that gave the Avs a chance, but goaltender Steve Mason makes the save.
But good hustle at the blue line by Talbot. Kept himself onside, and then all of a sudden, right now, instead of outside the zone or an offside, the Avalanche have a situation where it's, you know, a face-off down low, and you got a little momentum.
Avs get to the puck in the corner. It's Everberg. Sends around the end boards. Coburn scooped it up the wall. And the Avalanche get it back from the point. Shot by Redmond. Misses high. Mitchell after it. Knocked off the puck by Coburn. Voracek. Lost the puck to Tanguay. The Avalanche have got it. Mitchell had it for a moment. And Simmons. Ooh, penalty?
Yes, penalty on the Flyers. Good work by this line. Yes.
There we go. Power play chance for the Avalanche. Now, there's a lot of time left. 11:07 remaining. And Coburn.
Number 5, minor penalty for holding the stick.
A 2-minute minor for holding the stick on Braden Coburn.
Now, if the Flyers are doing anything right now, they're getting sloppy in their own zone. They had an opportunity to get that puck out. They didn't. Mitchell and Tanguay pressed the play, and all of a sudden, Coburn's in the box.
Power play number 3 tonight for the Avalanche. They win the draw. Pass back for Barry. And across for Duchesne. Back to Duchesne. Barry shot through traffic down low. Scoop back around by Tanguay for Duchesne. O'Reilly. Pass across. He thought Holden was a little deeper than he actually was. Back to Barry. Kept in. Rolls free of O'Reilly. Schultz moves the puck. Avs get it back. Pass high in the slot for Barry to take. Back for Duchesne. Avs on the power play. Shot by Barry. Saved by Mason. Rebound is covered by Mason. But good pressure by the Avalanche on this power play chance.
And boy, as you're watching this play, you can just see what the Avalanche want to do. Barry does a nice job, but on the far side, Holden is already sneaking down. There he is right there, and he just can't get it. But for Tyson Barrie, Mike, he's so quick, so smooth, and he's got such a good shot, underrated shot. I mean, he's got the best one-timer of anybody in the Avalanche.
Flyers win the draw. Cleared out. Barrow sets up the puck. Coming out to center, Tanguay. Dropped it. Redmond gets by Umberger. Gets into the zone. He's got Iginla wide open, and the pass came across. Followed by Johnson, blocked in front of the net. And scooped out by Philadelphia. Oh, just a couple little bounces that kept the Avs from getting the puck. Especially Iginla's, because he was wide open coming down the wing. Right in his wheelhouse, too. Landeskog gains the line. Still controlling the puck. And throw it off the side of the net. Rimmed around. Johnson lost the puck. It's a breakaway chance. Ronaldo. And a save made by Mason. Turned around the wall. held in by Schultz. Pass back in the slot. Booming shot off the end of the glove of Berra. That was Del Zotto with a chance. So their two best scoring chances have come shorthanded for Philadelphia.
You know what, Mike, it's interesting. The Avalanche players have told me how good Berra is on those breakaways, those shootouts they have in practice. They say he is equally good to Semyon Varlamov, and we've seen it a couple times the last couple of games.
From the point, Redmond, and the glove save made by Mason. Well, the Avs had some chances on the power play. Couldn't get another one by Mason. And it remains 4-2 in favor of the Flyers. Why should you hug an angler? Well, because proceeds from fishing and hunting licenses go towards conserving Colorado's natural beauty. So give them a hug and say thanks, and go to hugandangler.com to learn more.
Hug an angler, don't hug a Flyer. This is not
not here in the third period.
No, sir.
Well, for the Avalanche, 2 goals here in the third period. They get the puck on the draw, pass down the slot, but going to stop the play and redo this faceoff. The Avs got a chance there on that power play, not able to score. But Berra came up with a big save on the shorthanded breakaway.
Took a long
by
time.
Zach Rinaldo.
Yeah, it took a long time to stop that play. They're going to add a little bit of time.
They redo the draw, and this time the Flyers win it. Once behind the net, Coburn. He was the one sitting in that penalty box. Shot back in by the Avalanche. Suddenly the Flyers have a little difficulty getting out of their own zone. Nice job by Colorado. Center ice comes Del Zotto. Runs into a little trouble in Cleach. Able to push the puck down into the Colorado end. Flyers have had only 3 shots during this period, and 2 of them came shorthanded. Pass through the middle, tipped by Coburn. Chopped in. Nice play by the Avs. In the slot comes Redmond. He shoots. He scores! What a play! And the Avalanche have made it 4-3 with 8:22 still to go. Great looking play for the Avs, and Zach Redmond with his first goal in an Avalanche sweater.
And Mike, you look at this play, you break it down, and again, it's this 4th line for the Avalanche. Talbot, great play, but what a read by Redmond. I mean, right now, the Philadelphia Flyers are reeling right now. They're being outshot 13-3. As you mentioned, the 2 of the shots came as they were trying to kill a penalty, and now the Avalanche have come storming back. They just took over this third period. Talbot, what a play. Then Alex Tanguay, now Redmond, a defenseman for the Avalanche. And the Avalanche defensemen have been doing a much better job being productive, Mike. I think that people have given them credit for this year. You know, the key goals just have not been there, but it hasn't been the defense's fault. They've contributed, not so much with the goals as they did last year, but a lot of points.
Talbot will get the assist on the goal. Redmond at 11:38. And if you're the Flyers, you got up 4-0, you stop skating.
They did. They
were doing what got them that 4-0 lead.
They were just, you know, basically playing everybody and not doing a whole lot, just dumping the puck out of the zone, thinking that the game was over.
Avalanche with other thoughts. Mitchell with the puck high in the near side boards. Taken away by the Flyers. Carried up ice by Giroux. He's got 2 goals in this game. Tipped on nets, and Berra has to be sharp to make the save, and he did.
And again, we talked about this, the pressure that this 4th line puts on the defense. Talbot right there just plays right through the man. Knocks the man. That is textbook forechecking right there by Talbot. He just pushes the man, plays the hands. The man coughs up the puck. He finds the defenseman who under no circumstance should have been there. I mean, but unless you're pressing the play. And Redmond was in the perfect spot.
Flyers win the faceoff. Hooked around the wall. Avs winning some battles to get to the puck. Holden rims it around. Held to the point by Schultz. Put it behind the net. Schenn had it hop over his stick behind the cage. Reed cleaned off the puck by Redmond. Held in. Del Zotto's chance. Gets stopped in front of the net. Over skated by Couturier. Picked up by McKinnon. Over the line. Shot by Landeskog, and Mason hugs the puck against his chest.
Well, Michael, how timely is this? Hopefully, 2002 games played. 88 have seen to overcome a deficit, not very often a 4-goal deficit, to win. And Mike, that's, basically 44% of the time, including 41 third-period comeback wins. 41 third-period comeback wins.
Simmons with the puck at the center. Zach Redmond, third career NHL goal, first as an Avalanche. Giving the Avs, boy, a real lift here in this third period. 3 goals. Talbot, Tanguay, Redmond have all scored. Colorado offside. Coming into the Flyers zone with just over 7 minutes left to go in the third period. And this crowd stunned here in this third period in Philadelphia.
Well, they should. Avalanche fans shouldn't be surprised. If it's Reto Berra in nets, Mike, it's going to be a close game. 4 of the 5 games that he has started and completed have been 1-goal games. And 3 of them have gone into overtime. And the one that he won this year earlier in Boston, remember, 1959. Daniel Briere scored the game-winning goal.
Cross-ice pass. Tipped off the boards. Simmons trying to get out of his own zone. Avs put the pressure on. The puck is turned back over to Colorado. Simmons with a hit on Barry. And the Avalanche come after the puck. Grossman shoots it up and down the ice. Icing waved off. Hayda sends it up the wall for Duchesne. It bounced away from him. Umberger dropped it. Shot. And that one bounced up off the glass, hit the netting, and has gone out of play. 6:17 remaining in the third period.
Man, should the Avalanche might come back, we'll have a real good look at Berra making that save in the breakaway shorthanded. For Erik Johnson, Mike, these are the kind of moments that he's really starting to enjoy, because he knows it's got to be the right decision, but you've got to jump up into the play. It's got to be that guy that explodes up the ice for the Avalanche.
Colorado moving to center. You see that Cleach, Talbot, and McLeod line back out again. They're getting some ice time here in this third period. Why not? They've been out there for a couple of the goals that the Avalanche have scored here in the third period. Mason, safe play, covers the puck. 6 minutes remaining, and Flyers are back on their heels here in this third period.
Absolutely. Their defensemen are coughing up the puck. Right there, we saw Johnson doing what we thought he might do. He was right in that corner, puck on net. Now all of a sudden the Avalanche get to throw, Mitchell's line out there with Tanguay and Everberg.
They'll do it against the Giroux line for Philadelphia, their top line. On the draw, Flyers get it. Grossman. Pass up the boards, got tipped into center ice. Offside, Flyers. And we'll be back. Zach Redmond's first goal as an Av has made it 4-3. It was 4-0 for the Flyers. This one looked like it was over. Then Talbot lit the flame, and then the Avalanche kept on coming, and Alex Tanguay makes it 4-2, and then Talbot sets up Redmond. Great shot, and suddenly it's a 1-goal game. And the Avalanche with 14 shots. The Flyers with only 4 in this third period. And the Avs have been coming on, and now it's down to 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the third period. 1-goal game. Center ice, Everberg over the line for Mitchell. He shoots off of Mason and deflects into the netting behind him and out of play. Yet another shot by the Avalanche in this third period.
Right off his head, but again, Mike, right off his head. But the Avalanche having speed and Mitchell in a situation, Mike, he got to the outside. Everberg makes a real nice pass, but they're giving him the rule, and the Avalanche are just rolling right now.
And they're coming into the zone unimpeded. Flyers on it. Pass comes across, left it out to center ice. At the blue line, dragged away by Couturier. Shoots it rink wide. Slammed in from center ice by Giroux. Up the boards. McGinley up ice for McKinnon. Cross ice pass settled down by Landeskog. He charges to the corner with the puck. Into the corner for McKinnon. Trying to protect the puck as he works his way behind the net. Flyers take it away. Pass by Schenn. Up ice. And it's shot in from center by Matt Reed of Philadelphia. Hold it for the Avalanche. It's a pass through, and Iginla moves in over the line. Iginla shoots the save by Mason, who then covers the loose puck. But again, the Avalanche getting into the Flyer zone and getting shots.
And, you know, it's a situation here, Mike, where Philadelphia, look at them, they're trying to come back up ice. The Avalanche with a one quick pass. That was Voracek. I mean, the other defenseman absolutely should have been back in that play.
That's when another draw. Ripped around the wall. Barry keeps it in play, but it takes an Avalanche bounce. O'Reilly makes the pass towards Duchesne. Tipped by Coburn behind the Philly net. Giroux on it. O'Reilly gives him a bump. Pass comes up ice for Simmons. He's got a man up ice. It's Del Zotto, the defenseman, dropped it behind him. Simmons backhands it on net. Save made by Barry keeps the play going. And the Avalanche come out to center. It is Barry leading the rush. Barry into the Flyers zone. Del Zotto gives him a bump, but Barry stays alive. He's got a man in front. Barry, look at the work he is doing behind the net. Hands it off to Duchesne. He comes out in front. Both checked away. Giroux shoots it around the boards. But again, Avalanche, nice job keeping it inside the Flyers zone. Finally lifted out to center. And a race to the puck. Flyers are going to race for it, but Redmond got there first. And it shots back into the Philadelphia zone. McLeod up the wall. They're down to center ice by Philly. Bounce pass ahead for LeCavalier. Hayda leans into him. LeCavalier trying to fight him off. Drop the puck behind the net. Centered in the slot. Backhander whipped by Umberg, and the nice save made by Berra. And the puck sent down the ice by Colorado. It will result in an icing call. 3:15 remaining.
Well, we haven't talked about him a lot. But for the Philadelphia Flyers, I mean, they have, you know, they've had a couple of chances, well, not a lot, but Barry, Mike, has just been all over the ice, down low in this third period.
Redmond wins the one-on-one battle. His pass, though, glanced off the skate of Braden Schenn. Whipped around. Once again, Peter, we see that Cleach line back out. They've been rewarded with some ice time here in this third period.
Absolutely, and Mitchell's line. I mean, he has not been shy. Patrick Waugh using the third.
Tanguay moves in. Tanguay shoots. There's going to be a penalty on the Flyers. Penalty on Coburn for taking down Alex Tanguay. And here comes a power play with 2:49 remaining in the third period. Alex Tanguay draws the penalty.
Philadelphia number 5 minor penalty for holding.
And again, Mike, how does someone get in behind in a one-goal hockey game? How does somebody get in behind the defense? I mean, the Avalanche are making great plays. Nice pass to Tanguay. Tanguay, anytime you get those, Mike, you keep moving your legs in those situations, you'll get the penalty. Time up the Avalanches. Well, I tell you, where is Reto Berra going to start this next faceoff? He's going to start it high out, ready to come off the ice. If the Avalanche get it, he's going to be right on the bench. What is it going to be for the Avalanche?
There he is. You see Semyon Varlamov, tonight's backup goaltender.
What we thought was going to be a little bit of a testing third period as far as, okay, let's try to, you know, see what's going to happen, has turned into a really exciting moment as the Avalanche, they're going to have Berra on the bench, and Barry's going to, where is he going to start? He's going to start a little farther back.
Yeah, he's back at the Avalanche blue line.
If they happen to win the faceoff, he doesn't want something just chipped by. And he'll come charging up into the play if the Avalanche do win this draw.
Faceoff. Won by the Avalanche. They got it. They win the faceoff. McKinnon wheels it back to the point. Tanguay over towards Tyson Barrie. 6-on-4 power play for the Avalanche. Down low. Shot. Safe. Rebound. And it comes free. Chipped off the boards. But the Avalanche are right on it. McKinnon Plays the puck back towards Barry. Slides it across. Tanguay moving in wide. His pass got blocked. Sits back behind the net. Centered, and it comes up, but not out. Barry, nice play to hold it in. Shot down low, and it's zipped wide. Back around. O'Reilly without a helmet. Put it behind the net for Duchesne. He walks out in front. There's a chance, and it dribbles wide. Landeskog's pass back to Barry. Into the near circle for Duchesne. 6-on-4 Avalanche. 2 minutes to go in the third. Down by a goal. McKinnon shot misses the net. Back around for Duchesne. Works his way in. Side of the net. Here's a chance. It's whipped off the boards and out to center ice. 1 minute left to go in the power play. Barry gains the line. Barry coming in. Barry circles back behind the net. There's a stick on the ice. Pass, shot, goes wide. O'Reilly centered in front. And it's kept in play by Barry. Back at the blue line. Far side. McKinnon. Shot to the front of the net. It's blocked. And then shot down the ice, but it's going wide. 30 seconds left in Coburn's penalty. 1:15 to go in the third. Barry out to center ice. He gets around one man. McGinn shoots the puck in. Schultz surrounded by a couple Avalanche players. Didn't get it out of the zone. It comes behind the net. It is shot down the ice, but knocked down by Johnson. Backing up into his own zone. We're down to the last minutes of the third period. Pass up ice for Duchesne. Power play about to end. Pass over the line for Iginla. Gives it back to Duchesne. Pass up the ice. It's stolen away and shot off of Johnson by Coburn. 40 seconds left to go. Bears remained on the bench. Extra skater out for the Avalanche. Johnson works his way in. He shoots! And the save made by Mason.
Wow, what a great finish to this hockey game, and we're not finished, but that's the Avalanche's 20th shot of this third period. And in case you're wondering, Mike, it's sort of an interesting rule. You get your helmet knocked off, you can play that shift, but you cannot go back onto the ice without you having your helmet. So that at least allows O'Reilly to get his helmet and be one of those guys that's on the ice for this final, 32.9 seconds.
John Mitchell take the face-off for Colorado.
Giroux's good, though, Mike. Giroux's a good face-off guy.
But so is Mitchell. See who wins this face-off battle. And the Avalanche have got it. Goes back high for Barry. Over towards McKinnon. Down low. Shot. Oh, there was an open man. It was Mitchell. Into the corner with the puck. Pass behind the net. Iginla centered. And not chipped away. McKinnon still got it. 15 seconds. Oh, and it came through the crease. And it comes up the boards, but not out of the zone. Barry kept it in. Finds Mitchell. Shot. Blocks. Bounces free. McKinnon threw it on net. O'Reilly centers. It's loose. There's a chance, but the defenseman blocked it. And the game is over. What a finish to this one. A disappointed Avalanche team with a 6-on-4 for 2 minutes, not able to get the tying goal. And Peter, look, I thought that was going to tie it in that last second, and the defenseman, I think it was Grossman, blocked what looked like the tying goal. What a finish, though, for the Avalanche. But unfortunately, they come up short and lose to the Flyers 4-3.
Oh, Michael, that was... They worked so hard. They were coming from a deep, deep hole. A couple of early power plays right at the end of the first period, and then start the second period, another power play goal. But Mike, you got to credit what they ended up with 21 shots on goal in that third period.
Well, here, there's the penalty.
There's the penalty.
And that changed the course of the game. Eventually, the Philadelphia Flyers won 4-3. Please join us again on Tuesday when the Avalanche face off against the Islanders. Complete coverage begins at 4:30. Now let's get to the studio. It's time for the AutoNation Toyota Locker Room Report.